then.
Yes, Nick is in his Iron Man mask. I assume that's his, not his
Nick the
kids.
goal.
So more importantly than Nick's outfit is Jerry's success. We are two milestones. One,
Okay.
congratulations on 6 months of sobriety.
Thank you.
All right, Jerry.
My friend's parents asked me if I was sober because I mentioned Bill W on our live event when you asked about I was drinking a seltzer, but I don't know if you thought it was a beer.
How did you?
No, Bill W. And then they were like, "Oh, we didn't know Jay was sober," but I'm not. I just don't drink very often. But the bigger success, well, not bigger. I think they're both equally important, but down over 100 pounds.
Yeah. Before I got into before I started the whole journey, I checked into like detox, and I was 442, and literally, my blood pressure was out of control. It was like 190 over like 140 or something like that. It was just everything was terrible. You know, I mean, I couldn't walk. I could walk, but I got tired and stuff. And
you were struggling when I saw you in Brooklyn. It was just, I mean, it was like the second floor, and you were struggling a bit.
And that wasn't even that was me at a better stage of my life. I mean, Howie saw me that summer, and all my shirts were fitting like half shirts, and they were already 4Xs. So it was terrible.
So, I mean, really, what does it feel like? I mean, you, me, Nick, we chat a lot offline. But what does it feel like to be down over 100 pounds? What truly, like, most people will never know that either because they won't get heavy enough or they won't actually lose the weight. So tell us, the people that won't know what that feels like.
It's an odd feeling. It's like a double-edged sword in the sense like you're happy because you're watching all the work that you put in, you're sacrificing, you're macroing, your workouts. You see everything starting to pay off a little bit, But then you ask yourself, A, how did I get this way? How did I let myself get this way?
Right.
And then B, it's like, with me, I've been battling weight loss all my life. So I've constantly, like, almost 2 years ago, I was very similar to this weight, and then you ask yourself, if I let it go back up before, what's to prevent it? So you always have little thoughts of doubt. But ultimately you feel better, like before I would look for the nearest parking spot. Now I'm just like, I'll walk the other 2 blocks, or let's go to the gym. I got to get it done. So it's little things like that. But the clothes thing, you start feeling better. You're like, all right, cool. This doesn't fit anymore.
What size are you wearing now?
I'm down to a 3X, but it's fitting a little big. So,
well, I gotta say though, so for some context, it was the week of 4th of July week. I think it was actually where'd I go?
He is so technologically not savvy for someone.
So my phone battery had an issue. So anyway, so it was July 5th of this past summer, and that's when Jerry was 100 pounds heavier than he is now. And
been over 100 pounds based on.
He was over 100 pounds heavier than he is now. But the point is, we had a little incident on my dad's boat in Connecticut, and which maybe we'll get into another time. But the thing is, Jerry at that time, even the walk from the car to the boat was huffing and puffing. He couldn't make the 1 or 2 little steps up off the platform onto the boat. There might have been like a mini sea rescue going on at the time because of this. And it was funny but scary all at the same time. So from seeing Jerry not be able to take a step or 2 onto a boat to now like running like crazy, lifting huge weights, looking like trimmer in his face and parts of his body, and just being so much healthier, it's just really incredible. It's really incredible.
Nick says so many accidental, inappropriate things. So I assume the story on the boat has to do with alcohol.
Yes,
absolutely, it does. That was my birthday weekend, and it happened. My birthday weekend happened to fall like on a Tuesday, Wednesday, and I wasn't working at the time, so I woke up and luckily I had leftover booze from the night before. I always seem to have leftover booze from the night before because I would prepare. And I figured, oh, we're going on a boat. So mind you, I show up around like 9 o'clock wasted already. So I'm in the Uber drive up already drinking with the guy. Hey, I thought it was fantastic. But then again,
and then after that is when we had, Jerry soon after that went on his little vacation and then came back healthy, ready to go.
Right, but in my defense, you ask any 400-pound, like 5'8" guy to walk from one boat onto another boat in the water. I'm sure balance isn't being nimble isn't something. Just about anybody would fall.
Yeah, but now I fell in the drink. No problem.
I fell in the drink and drank most of the beer. So it was not
we'll
good.
Get further into that. So, but now that you're over 100 pounds, what's the plan of action? I mean, as you have heard from me, from Howie, it's going to melt off. But you're getting into, honestly, you're at a point with your weight where it's people we talk to often. Hey, I'm, 350 pounds. What do I do? And it's not just pouring off anymore.
Well, I was reading something the other day, and I was actually giving somebody advice on the macros, and something I came across. I think Confucius said like, it's better to be a flawed diamond than a smooth pebble, right? So I'm not there yet, but the point is, do not acknowledge where I'm at, in the sense like, all right, so someone's journey starts somewhere. All right, the weight's not coming off, but I am getting stronger. I am feeling better. Working out feels like it's part of a routine for me. There's so many pluses in terms of me looking forward than even looking back. You acknowledge where I was a month ago, this and that. If you look at things relatively quickly, it's only been 6 months, and my 6 months, I've lost. How many people could say they lost a whole other person in like 80 pounds, 84 pounds? I'm already looking at my next metric, my next goal, my next now it's time you work harder. Once you get to certain goals, you work harder. You turn it up. They say, it was cold. It's cold now, but I'm getting into the warmer time. So everything has to, get the macros have to get tighter. The workouts have to get a little longer and better. It's like at work. When you're a regular salesperson, you're working X amount. When you're a manager, you're working X amount. Like, you always got to increase it and provide new goals and new things. So yeah. So what if I lose 1 or 2 pounds a week? I get upset because it's not the show. But at the end of the month, it's 8, 10, 12 pounds that I didn't have before. It's not like it's going up.
Absolutely. Big picture. I mean, I think you made a really good point along the way where you did all of this in the winter in New York, which is brutal. You don't want to be outdoors. So now coming up, maybe by the end of February, early March, you're going to be able to go outside for walks more often again, get some outdoor activity. And I think that will help keep you moving. One thing you've done well from day one is just be super active, even when it was hard at 400 plus pounds. Now that it's getting easier, it's just more reason to stay motivated.
Right. And you guys, I mean, I got to thank you. You guys keep me motivated. You're constantly updating your page and answering people's questions. Nick will always throw me a "how's it going?" big picture thing. I was going through a real down stage a couple, days ago, maybe over the weekend, and Nick told me about the keeping up with the Joneses, and everybody wants something more and this and that, and just don't lose sight on the fact that you are making accomplishments. So, big thank you to you guys, in the sense that not just accountability. Oh, it's not like a Weight Watcher meeting where I just show up and post my weight, but to actually have genuine dialogue and talk to you guys and express my insecurities, leaving the car business that I did for 7 or 8 years. I did it pretty well. I got to thank the car business. It fed me and my family and fueled my drinking habit, which kept me, it was good. It took care of me. You know what I'm saying? I was, I didn't have much, didn't have to borrow much or anything like that. It was, it provided for me. But now I stepped out of my comfort zone. It's just amazing in the sense that that you guys provided much more than just a weight loss plan, and don't go drinking anymore. It provided something more for me. So I want to thank you guys.
No, I think you've done great. I think you've turned out to be motivating for many others. Well, we motivated you to begin with. You continue to motivate. Your posts get the most feedback out of all of them in the tribe every week. I think it's just further, showing everyone that, hey, Jerry can do it. I can do it. And I've sent you a couple of messages where people reach out to me because of your story, not having met you or just seeing your stuff in the tribe. So it's only going to get bigger and better as you lose the weight. When we hit these even bigger milestones, 300, long-term 200, I think it's going to be incredible.
And so we had a couple things planned. We talked about doing a 5K coming up in the early spring, things like that. Just to keep pushing the envelope, slowly but surely. And it's really impressive. And Jerry helps me stay motivated to kind of keep tracking every day. Like last week, I know I was having a couple rough days, and I said, Jerry, just check in with me today, make sure I'm hitting my numbers and doing what I need to do, and he did, and that was very helpful. And it's really impressive to watch him just keep powering through every week, even if it's a couple of pounds. And every week those numbers are so impressive. And then after a couple of weeks or a month, it's even more impressive. And we're in it for the long haul. So I'm very happy to be here with Jerry doing this.
I think it's going to be a very competitive 5K. It's going to be fun to watch. Cool. Well, as you guys know, I have to head out of town, so I'm going to hop off this. Anything you wanted to add, Jerry, before we hop off?
I did want to add, for anybody who's starting or in this stuff, and just remember, like I was joking with Jay, I said, you can't have your macros and eat it too. You're much stronger than you think you are. I always say that to my girlfriend in the sense, like, I fasted this week for 2 days, just because I wanted to see, like, if I was strong enough physically and mentally to avoid a very basic thing. It's like, I couldn't go to the store and not spend. I could do certain things, but I was like, let me just fast and see if I could avoid food and drink water and tea like you recommended. And I got through it, and it wasn't even that difficult. It's like, you're stronger than you think you are. You look at a weight. I'm not saying go put the 100-pound dumbbells up and all that. No, I'm just saying that, like, give yourself more credit for what you are. You can accomplish much more than you think. I'm, gonna head into my 40s and I'm handling the stuff that I figured people were doing earlier in life. But at the same time, it's like, I'm doing it. Nothing makes me different. I'm not independently wealthy. I'm working, doing everything, and I'm just planning. I'm just organizing, and it means something to me now. Like, I want to live. Like, I want to, like, have good relations with my friends. I want to have a real, personality instead of the drunk guy, So it's one of those things where just, find whatever motivates you. You're always stronger than you think you are. And little by little, you'll get there. I mean, I believe I'll get there. My goal, I could have set it for 250 or this and that. I set my goal for 180, being 442 pounds. That's like outrageous, but I'm closer today than I was 6 months ago. And I know in about a couple more months, I'll be even closer then. So I thank you guys for the added support in the tribe as well. I do appreciate the likes. I like compliments. All right. I like it. To quote Lego Batman, I like compliments. But at the same, and it keeps me motivated. So thank you guys. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Well, that's great. I have no doubt we're going to hit that goal. I remember when you told me on September 11th what your goal was, and we said that's what we're going to go for. That's what we do. And honestly, I think you've done the hard part. While this next half might be a bit slower, I think it's easier. It's just a waiting game. It's now this will work. You can do it. The hard part was when you could barely move, you can barely breathe, but you would show up at the gym, run. Now it's going to be easy. So it's just a matter of sticking with it.
Of course. I mean, if I don't stick with it, it's my body, right? I'm feeling myself. So.
All right, guys. We'll talk again next week or so.
Have a safe flight, Jay.
Thank you. I'll talk to you guys soon.
You good. Bye-bye.